the All Bodies Fitness Podcast, brought to you by certified personal trainer and nutritional consultant Patricia Sullivan and co-founder Patrick Foster. This podcast is intended to motivate, inspire, and educate our listeners. As we explore all topics related to health and fitness, join us weekly for new episodes. All right, hey.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hey, I'm Patricia.
I'm Patrick, and we're All Bodies Fitness.
That's right, yeah.
So we're going to do a continuation of our theme from last week through the month of October, talking about topics related to
Fear. Fear.
Yeah, it's going to be a fear fest.
Yeah, that's right. So, we believe that what scares you challenges you to grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we want to talk about today because, we all have these challenges and we either back away from them or we boldly go forward, or sometimes we take baby steps, maybe not boldly, but we should try and move forward and face those challenges and grow from our fears instead of backing away, right?
And fear is one thing that we can all relate to, for sure.
Totally.
I mean, everybody's had some type of fear one way or another, and I made some notes before we started this podcast, and there's two types of fear, right? So there's the fleeting kind of fear that comes as a result of maybe a backfire from a car exhaust, or gunfire in the streets. Hopefully you don't live in there.
Oh gosh, or a big spider coming down by you.
Right, right, yeah. Something pops out of the grass, and then there's the other kind of fears that are kind of lingering and haunting, and they're like like these apparitions that seem to just invade our thoughts on a constant basis. And the thing is that's really profound about those type of fears is that they're residing unwanted, but they're there by choice.
Oh, that's really deep. I like that.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I know that because I've been having to face some of these types of realizations in my own thinking, and in seeing what it is that I want to change about myself. And it's good that we're talking about this.
Yeah, because like you said, that type that haunts us, it like takes over your mind in a way, and you can't get the ideas out of your head that something bad is going to happen if I do this. So I won't try, or I'm not going to be able to live up to my challenges, so I won't try to make a change, right? And I think that's why so many of us get stuck in bodies that we're not happy with, right? We're not living up to our potential of our fitness. We get stuck in jobs and careers we're not happy with because we're afraid of change.
Right. Get
stuck in maybe a relationship that's not good for you, maybe, all these different things, and we're just not living our full lives.
Right.
Right. And that's kind of sad, that we let fear stop us.
Right. And especially when the truth is that we have complete control and choice to change either how we perceive and process it, or actually take some action to remove ourselves from that fear.
That's true. Yeah. But that's the hard part, though, for so many people, right?
It is.
It's hard to move past that.
Which is why we did this challenge.
Yeah, that's right.
Did we talk about that yet?
No, not yet.
Oh,
no, yeah.
So we have this challenge.
We want to challenge you guys. Yep.
Yeah. So it's going to be by going to our Facebook group. It's All Bodies Fitness Members Community. You can search for that. And if you're afraid that we're not going to accept you, well, that'll be your first step in accepting this challenge to see whether or not we do.
We will.
We will. So.
We love you all.
And then if you're afraid to make a post to share your challenge, the fear that you're facing or challenged with and what you want to grow from, well, that's your second step in
that's good.
dealing with this challenge.
Yeah, that's right. Because post about it, because if you decide you're going to act on that fear and that challenge and move forward, and you tell other people,
right,
then you're going to be held accountable in a way, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier not to tell people and just try to do it yourself. But if you exclaim it out there and put it out there, then we're gonna be like, hey, how is that challenge working for you?
Well, I'm really struggling right now.
Or I haven't done anything about it yet. But before the month is out, we all should try and face one fear and do something towards it.
Right.
Right? Isn't that a
Yeah,
good
that's
idea?
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that too.
So definitely go there to the, just look us up on Facebook, the All Bodies Fitness Members Community,
Mm-hmm.
and like it, and just ask to subscribe, and we'll get you in there.
Yeah, we'll let you join. And I guess that's one of the things I'll have to think about because I'm not sure what kind of fear I want to overcome then for the month. I gotta work on that because, I don't know.
Well, I'm sure you can think of a good one.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's true.
I can think of quite a few of them, and I'm sure I won't have a difficult time picking one of them.
Well, I mean, one of them is like heights, but how am I supposed to face that? Am I supposed to jump out of an airplane? I'm not going to do that. I mean, that's...
Well, that's just silly. That's just silly. We don't want to advocate anybody doing anything dangerous.
No, well, I mean, the parachuting or whatever you call it is perfectly...
Parachuting?
Whatever you call it. I don't know. What do you call it when you jump out of an airplane?
Man, that sounds like an extreme challenge. This is not extreme
No,
fear
we don't
challenge.
want to go there. No.
Remember that show? There was like a show, right?
Yeah, Fear Factor.
Fear Factor, right?
I never watched that. I was afraid to watch it.
They would people would do these really extreme challenges.
Like, go into like a cube with all spiders in there
or
or
snakes
something.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
Why does it always have to be snakes?
Yeah.
You guys know where that's from?
So we're not talking about that kind of challenge.
No,
okay?
no.
So we're looking to take some small steps here.
Well, maybe you are legitimately like have a huge phobia of snakes that you have to overcome, because there are a lot of snakes that aren't deadly
Right,
at
go
all.
to the pet store.
Yeah.
And
find somebody that has a pet snake.
Yeah.
You
do that.
My nephew has one.
Mm.
Shout out to Louis. And maybe that is your fear, and maybe you have to overcome that. And part of that is to I guess visualize you petting a snake.
Yeah.
If that's the end result to get you there.
Well, and so some of the key steps to facing and overcoming your fear is first of all is by realizing that you have one, and that or many, and having a desire that you want to do something about it.
That's a good one, Patrick, because if you don't have that desire to change, you won't try, right?
So then you challenge yourself. So we're helping to do that, and then another key part that's one of your favorite parts is to get curious about it.
Yeah.
So, start asking yourself, why am I afraid?
Why did I decide that was scary?
What is it that I'm afraid of?
Yeah. Well, why did I decide that was so scary? I decided that when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Or something, right? Yeah.
What is it that's keeping me from overcoming this? I mean, what?
Yeah,
I'm afraid
why am
of this
I so
for
afraid?
why?
Yeah, why? Yeah, why did I decide that was scary? Who told me it was scary?
Get curious about it. Start questioning your own thinking. And then learn from that. Because as you ask yourself and observe what your response is, then you can learn and grow from it.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break and we'll come right back to that because I want to give up some more ideas about that too.
Hey, we hope that you're enjoying this podcast, and as a special free bonus for our listeners, Patricia is going to tell you about our amazing 7-day workout challenge.
That's right. Do you want to feel energized and jazzed up for your day? You don't have to go to a gym to speed up your metabolism. With our 7-day challenge, you'll get a 15-minute exercise video emailed to you at 5 a.m. each of the 7 days. We'll encourage you and work on your mindset as we work on your muscles. Join us at allbodiesfitness.click. That's CLICK.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah, you brought up that really good, idea of being curious, and I wanted to give a great example that I had used recently. Yeah, because we went to Busch Gardens, I guess just a couple weeks ago, really, maybe a month ago, right? And I've always been afraid as a kid of rides, and I don't know, it was somebody else's belief that rides were scary or whatever that were passed down to me. And I kept that fear for so long that I wouldn't try a lot of these rides. And there was this cool virtual reality ride that I knew was going to involve like flying and that kind of thing. And my first instinct was to be scared, and not want to do it. But I knew that, you wanted to do it, and our daughter Gracie wanted to do it, and we didn't want to, I didn't want to anyway. I didn't want to ruin it for you guys. And I know that she will adapt a lot of my fears.
Yeah.
So I don't want to pass that to her. You know what I mean?
Right.
So my first instinct to be scared, I had to overcome by saying, why am I scared? Everybody does this ride and they have a good time, right? And it's just virtual reality. I'm not even going to actually be flying. I'll be sitting in a seat. So then I've got myself curious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wonder how they're going to do that. How is it going to feel to fly? Are they going to have like wind blowing at us? Sometimes they have that in the chair. Are they going to shoot water at us? What is it going to look like? And I started to get really curious. And then I was able to approach it from that state of curiosity, and then actually enjoyed the ride. I wanted to do it again.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's a great example of some, of a way to take control of your thoughts instead of allowing your fears to control you.
Yeah, because that's what we forget, right? That we have that choice.
And like you mentioned too, that's another part of that is that, this is all, related to how we impact those around us too, because if we have fearful thoughts and we apprehensions and and all this, I myself have come to realize, when I'm in a state of negativity or fear, and I'm expressing that, then I'm impacting those around me, and it becomes burdensome to them.
That's true.
Really.
Yeah.
It becomes burdensome to them, and like you said, you didn't want to pass that on to Gracie.
Yeah, I didn't want to give her my fears.
Yeah, you don't want her to have those, carry those fears on with her.
Yeah, and that's where that love comes in, right?
Right.
We don't want to pass along to people we love and become a burden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a work in progress. It's a practice that we want to encourage people to do. And one of the best ways is like what you said, is actually there's two ways, and one is that realizing that love is more powerful than fear. So if we are creating a state of mind that is loving in the way that we think and loving in the way that we act, fear doesn't have a place to grow in that environment.
That's true, and it's like and that love, if we want to be love and we want to give love to everybody else, we can't have fear, because that's not going to give love to them. That's going to become, like you said, a burden to them, or pass it along to them, or it'll just impact them too, because sometimes our fear gets turned into that stress, which then we're difficult around people without even knowing why, right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes fear is the first emotion, and we cover it up. And I think men do this even more than women, cover it up with anger, because anger, they say, is a secondary emotion, and under it is the fear.
Yeah.
And then the anger comes out, and a lot of people are afraid of losing control, so they'll be angry when underneath it is that fear that they're not addressing, and they may not even realize they have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I know. I'm I have to deal with these kind of emotions myself, so I'm seeing it crop up in my life, and because I want to grow and be able to help more people and show them, hey, this is really working.
Yeah.
And
you are. Yeah.
Yeah, you can be more than what you do. You can be more than what you have. You can be more than what the reputation of other people is about you. You can be the expression of love that you were purposed to be.
That's true. That's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing, and that's one of the things we have to come to realize, is that we were designed not just to be an expression of love. We were designed out of love. There was a loving creation process that went into giving us this great
form
that we have.
Our vehicle.
It's our vehicle to connect with however you want to express the source of your existence. Really.
That's true.
That's what I think about.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, love is the key, because like you said, you can't be afraid and feel love for everybody at the same time, right? The love and the curiosity will move you forward away from your fear and let you have a bigger life. And because if we think about our lives as serving others, we can't serve others if we're afraid of what other people are thinking about us, or we're afraid that we're not doing it right. As long as you're doing, I mean, they say, some action is almost always better than no action, right? So, the fear immobilizes us from taking any action.
Yeah, fear is paralyzing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and that's a real thing, like the deer in the headlights, right? They get afraid and they and they stand still.
They do, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like that happens to me quite a bit too. Is I feel paralyzed because of the way that I'm thinking about something, and then what's good is that I've been learning from doing this research and things like that and practicing,
Mm-hmm.
is that as you practice some of the things we're talking about, you become aware of your state more quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
So like when you're in a bad place and you're or you're fearful, or you're being triggered into thinking in a negative way, you're because you're practicing to change your state.
Mm-hmm.
You become aware of that of that state more readily and more quickly, so that now you can choose to
Get out of it.
move out of it.
Yeah, faster, right?
Faster, yeah.
Like we were saying, it's a muscle.
It
It's
is.
an emotional muscle. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You can flex that muscle as much as you
Right?
Yeah, that's really good, because I think there's so many of us that get immobilized because, they get a thought that sounds like a good idea, then all the fears and those automatic thoughts, those negative thoughts come at us from every angle, and then we start thinking about each one and overanalyzing and overanalyzing and overanalyzing, and then you get stuck in that loop of analyzing and you don't act, right?
Yeah.
And then we don't do anything, and that's why people stay in bad situations, stay in bad jobs, bad relationships, unhealthy bodies, That's why people reelect government officials sometimes. The incumbent often wins because the fear, the evil that we know, at least we know what it is, rather than the evil we don't know. We don't know what the
Right.
new person would be, so we'd rather not take that chance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like in keeping with the idea of what's easy to do is just as easy not to do.
That's true.
And,
Yeah.
some of this stuff is really, it's probably easier for some people than it is for others. I mean, I find it kind of challenging and difficult for me to change some of these challenges that I have to face.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things is I don't know if we already went over this, but is talking about the types of fear, whether it's a fleeting fear, or we did talk about that already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one of the things in keeping with the Halloween theme was that I realize and have experienced that some of these ways of thinking and believing are rooted in what we've done throughout our life and experienced and what we've been taught.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're kind of like they're haunting and lingering, like
Mm-hmm.
they're like these apparitions that are just hovering over your life, right? So,
Yeah. It's like hold you back.
yeah, and they want to hold you back.
Yeah, it's like you've been defined by yourself or by your loved ones or your parents or whatever, that you're this kind of person, and don't
Defined by our own choices, even.
or sometimes by our own choices, and then it's like you're afraid to move outside that little box.
Yeah.
Right. And you never know what it's like out there.
Right.
You never get to experience that, and it's very limiting, right?
Yeah.
And it's like if you label it, then and then it's like you negate all the other possibilities because you labeled yourself as, I can't do that, I'm a shy person.
And
Yeah.
really, I guess what we should be striving to do is get back to that place where we were before we ever experienced fear.
Yeah, where we have unlimited potential
And
no labels.
That first happened when in the womb, even.
Yeah,
for the first 9 months of your existence, you didn't have any fear at all. Or you don't recall any fear.
Don't recall any.
Right? Or even as a toddler,
Yeah.
until you took your big first fall or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you were completely reliant on those who cared for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes. What I'm saying is, it comes down to trust.
Yeah.
So where is your faith and trust?
Yeah, you gotta have trust that it ultimately is going to be okay, because if you believe in God or karma, or the ultimate source of the universe, whatever you believe in, you got to believe that things are going to happen to move you in the right direction, and that things are going to work out ultimately okay.
Yeah.
We're all moving towards the same direction anyway, right? I mean, we forget sometimes that we're all part of this planet, and like we've heard, the word universe means one song. So, and it's a round planet. So if you have one song of the universe and the planet being round, how can you take sides? We're all one, right? So we all are ultimately moving towards the same path. We all want love, acceptance, comfort, all these things.
Yeah, when we see ourselves as separate, that in itself is kind of ego-driven thinking, and instead of seeing ourselves as a part of the whole, and connected with our source, and when we see ourselves as connected with our source, then we're in the place of being able to express all of that which we were designed to express.
Yeah, and there's no reason for fear.
Right.
There's
no reason.
No,
it has no place to grow there.
Yeah, because you're going to grow, and you're here for a reason.
Yeah.
To inspire others, maybe, or whatever whatever your reason is. But you're going to grow as part of that whole. Right? Yeah. So it's kind of a beautiful thing, and you can let go of the fear and say, well.
Well, it does say you were wonderfully and fearfully made, but I don't know. Not like fearfully like you were.
I never heard that one.
All right, that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah, another time. Right. So let's just get back on track so we can challenge these folks, right?
Okay.
You want to take a quick break and then wrap it up with the action steps?
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
Hey Patrick, do you know what my favorite piece of home exercise equipment is?
Well, I know for sure that if you only had the choice of one piece of equipment, you'd choose a BOSU.
That's right. I love my BOSU, which stands for both sides up, right? It's an amazing piece of equipment, and we have a special offer exclusively for you listeners today. Go to bity.com, which is bitly.com /BOSU, BOSU, number 4 YOU, and you'll learn more about this special offer. Get your own BOSU for your home gym and some exclusive videos of workouts with me and using the BOSU.
All right, welcome back. All right, we're gonna sum everything up here real quick and kind of give you some action steps, I guess.
Yeah, some challenges. Right. So, just to sum up from my perspective is that, that antidote for fear is love and curiosity, like we were saying. So using that, you force yourself to be courageous in the moment, because it only takes a moment to take a step forward. Take that step forward and then just take another step. One little baby step at a time. Don't overthink it. Force yourself to be courageous in that one moment. And just keep forcing yourself to be courageous every time you get a little fearful.
And you may be facing some real difficulties in your life, and you may be overwhelmed by all of the, just the stress of whatever's happening in your life. But what we're talking about here is, taking a step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes that's all you need is to create a catalyst to propel you into even greater development. And I know this just even from my own personal experience, and it's rough going. It's not easy, but it's also very easy to do, but it's easy not to do either.
Yeah. It's the inertia. If you get that momentum going, you'll keep going forward and keep taking a step. That's why we want you guys to join our Facebook group and declare what your challenge is, what you're going to work on overcoming, and we'll be glad to help you. With the comments and stuff, and give you some ideas, and we'll all encourage each other.
Yeah, let's definitely do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
We look forward to seeing you there in our Facebook community. It's All Bodies Fitness members community. And let's see. Next week we're going to continue on with
some more fear.
Oh,
and before we forget too, if you guys are listening on Apple, please give us a review. It helps us a lot.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah. Excellent.
Excellent.
Good stuff. All right. Look forward to scaring you more. Talking to you.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for joining us today. If we added value for you, please let us know. Give us a rating, leave us feedback, or email us at info@allbodiesfitness.com. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future podcasts.